Welcome back to the show, everybody. This was like fun. A lot of there was fitness questions.
Kind of a romantic show.
Yeah, there was non-fitness questions that were really good at the end. So stay tuned until the end of the show.
Oh, you can find out our celebrity crushes and how we keep each other happy.
And you're going to hear the word Instagram a lot in this episode.
Too much.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of
#LiveLeanTV.
We're very color coordinated today.
Yeah, I wrote him a memo. It was like, make sure you wear the blue sleeves.
The blue sleeves,
blue sleeves.
You can't see the bottoms that she's wearing,
Gray
but she's got
pants.
gray pants. Like, we are totally matching right now. We're like totally #couple goals right now.
Yeah, totes, ridiculous.
All right, guys, so if you're new to the episode, thank you for tuning in. If you're not new, thank you for tuning in once again. We're on episode 48. 48 right now. We're almost at 50.
Ooh, we should celebrate when we hit number 50.
So yeah, we answer 10 questions a show. So we're on 48 right now. So we've answered 480 questions just on #AskLiveLeanTV. That's not to say all the other ones that we did.
That doesn't count the other 100 per day that we answer on everywhere else.
And on the previous Q&A show that we did over on our other channel, BGTV. So guys, the questions are still coming in. We still got a whole backload of them. So if you did post your questions, we're going to get to them. But if you want your questions answered, use the #AskLiveLeanTV. And people have been asking, how do I get my questions answered on camera? Well, guys, put it right here on Twitter. Use that hashtag. Go on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook. They're all right there. So we want you guys engaging with us on those social media channels. If you're not following us over there, go over there. And Instagram is on fire right now. Like, we're posting a lot of stuff over on Instagram, over on my personal page @BradGuthrow. And we're also posting a lot over on LiveLeanTV's Instagram. It's got its own Instagram handle over there as well.
And another reason you might want to follow us is occasionally we give away goodies on social media. So just throwing it out there. If you like free stuff, then you might want to follow our channel.
You know what? I'm just going to let you guys in on a secret then. We're coming out with a whole brand new campaign, we could call it, where we're calling it the #60-minute swag. So you guys are the first people to hear about this. So it's going down on Instagram. So I'm just going to say this right now. If you're not on Instagram, if you're not following @BradGuthrow, that's where you guys should be. All right? I'm just saying it, and we're going to make a big announcement on what #60-minute swag actually means. But we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff for free. But you got to be over there on Instagram.
You can get free programs from us. We may throw in some surprises that we've never even done before.
Free FaceTime calls with us.
And the other thing is, just by following us, you get tons of daily free inspiration, motivation. Like, we post a lot of our own workouts. So if you're curious to see how we actually work out, social media, so we're very active.
So let's go over there and smash the follow button over on Instagram. We really want to grow our Instagram presence over there. So please, if you're going to do something, go over to Instagram right now. Okay, so now that we've had that ask out there, let's get into giving you guys some value. Let's get into the questions. I'll ask the first one to you because
throw it at me.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Chris Bravo from Twitter says, you said before that you used to train every day. How do you recover so quickly when doing this type of training?
I feel like the last show started with the question from the same person,
It very could have.
Thanks, Chris, for all the questions. Awesome. So how do you say it one more time?
So you say that you used to train every day. How do you recover so quickly with the type of training that we do?
Okay. We've talked about this a little bit before, but split training styles where you just train certain body or muscle groups I don't want to say body parts, but muscle groups on different days of the week. That helps you, say for example, if you did your upper body today, then tomorrow you can go and work your legs, and you're not sore on your legs because you didn't work them yet. And then while you're working your legs, then your upper body's recovering. So that's how you can sort of do an alternate of upper, lower, off, upper, lower, off. And then it's 3 days since you've hit that last muscle group. But another thing, there's different styles you can do. So if you do a heavy lifting workout one day, then the next day you do something light, or you do a mobility workout, something like that. So you're not doing the same training modality every single day of the week, and also not the same muscle groups.
Yeah, it just goes down to what your goal is. We keep harping this. What is your goal? once we know your goal, let's get you on a program that is designed around your goal to help you achieve your goal. So too many people go at this fitness thing blind. They're just like, oh, today I'm going to decide to go do this. And then
You just walk into the gym,
I'll
be like,
just be
I'm
like,
here. What do I do?
I'm going to take 4 days off, then I'll do that. Like, guys, you're not going to get to your goal in as quick as possible time as like we know that you guys want to get there without a structured workout plan. So just like Jessica said, it's not like we're crushing deadlifts and squats every single day for high volume. It's like our workouts are strategically planned so that we allow proper recovery, but when we do train a certain body part or an upper or lower, like we hit it hard to get the most results. So
I feel like a lot of people neglect training legs, and if you only train legs once a week, that's just every 7 days. That means you have 7 days of recovery before you're hitting again. I think people should be training legs at least 2 times a week, if not like every other day.
But then
it depends.
But then it depends, because if you're primarily on a fat loss goal, you know, circuit training is better for you. So like my program, Live Lean Afterburn, you're in a circuit-based training, but you're still
your whole body
using compound moves, heavier moves like squats and deadlifts, but you're not training only legs on one day. Like you're incorporating a total body workout, and it's getting people incredible results.
And will you get really sore after afterburn workouts? You will.
You will, but
you'll also adapt over the weeks.
Yeah, and it's not like you're gonna wake up the next day with my legs or just I can't even move, because like you don't hammer your legs every single set, every single rep of the workout. Like it's
all mixed.
Yeah, I mean we can get into a lot of detail, but I think we get the point here. You got to get on a program, guys. And if you need help with what kind of program based on your goal, hit us down in the comments below, and we will help you get there.
Yeah, and being sore is a really good sign. It means that you're actually, affecting your muscles. So you do want to be somewhat sore after your workouts, but if you're like so sore that you feel like you need to check into the hospital, then you've probably overdone it.
Yeah,
so.
But it's not the be all end all. Like it doesn't, like if you're training and you're not sore, it doesn't mean you're not getting an effective workout. Like your body adapts, those sort of things. So
anyway, let's advanced athletes.
Let's roll.
We could go on this topic forever. Good question, Chris. Okay, so we have one from Priya Patel on Snapchat. Hey Brad, I'm wondering why you don't keep track of how much fiber is in your diet.
Good question. So fiber, I'm not counting fiber what I have, because I know with the amount of vegetables that I'm getting and the amount of fruit that I'm getting, that I'm getting plenty. Plus I'm drinking like plenty of water and getting all the other nutrients in there as well. So it's just one of those things, like if you find that you're not getting, like if you just don't like vegetables, you don't like fruit or whatever, then you can track it. But for me, where I'm kind of on autopilot right now, because like I can take a look at something and figure out what it is, like how much I'm taking in. I'm not physically tracking it, but like if you just watch our vlogs and see what I'm eating on a day, or if you follow us on Instagram, you see what I'm eating on a day, and our Instagram stories, like I'm getting tons of vegetables. So my fiber game is on point.
I feel like people usually think, when they think fiber, they think
grains.
bread. Wheat or rice or any like kind of grain like that, but then tend to forget that like something like spinach is full of fiber, and just all vegetables have a lot of fiber.
Fruits.
So as long as you're eating a ton of variety of like natural foods like that, fruits and vegetables specifically, you are getting enough fiber. And here's how you want to know how you're getting enough fiber. If your number 2s are coming out nicely.
Yeah, mine are coming out nicely.
Know.
I'll post on Instagram next time what my number 2 looks like.
Wait, excuse me? Please don't.
No, I won't. I don't want to scare away from potential Instagram followers.
We trust you, babe.
Yeah.
We trust you.
But I never even thought that maybe that was the spin of the question, was like because I don't eat.
Oh, I don't think she's talking about number 2s.
No, I'm talking about grains.
Because
I don't eat grains that often. Maybe she's thinking I don't get enough fiber.
Yeah,
but
people might think we're lacking in fiber. We're not.
Fiber is from vegetables and fruits. Like grains, you don't get as much as you think.
Yeah, so, and also it's like you have to decide which things are you going to track. And there are so many things you could track. How many milligrams of sodium are you having? How much water you're having? You could drive yourself crazy with all the things that you could track. Like what's your heart rate average every day and how many hours of sleep you're getting. It's like you could your mind will explode on you if you try to focus on too many things at once. So I just think for us in particular, fiber is kind of low on the list of things that we're concerned about tracking.
Well, it's not that it's low on the list because of it. We don't care about the health.
Though.
It's low on the list because we know we're getting it in there.
Like because we're fine.
When you eat whole foods, a lot of vegetables and fruits, it takes care of itself. Like you don't have to track it. So, okay, next question on Snapchat from Queen Kylie. says, if I only want to build muscle on my lower body, should I only be in a surplus on my lower body training days? Other days I'm doing HIIT, plyometric, full body workouts, and low weight, high rep upper body workouts.
Okay, so this is a great question about whether you should fluctuate your calories on training days versus non-training days. I say yes and no a little bit. Like, I don't mind a little bit of a fluctuation. Like, what I always recommend to people is set your calorie level, including your post-workout nutrition. Then on your non-workout days, just omit the post-workout nutrition. So we're talking 200 to maybe 400 calories here. It's not like a huge fluctuation, and I wouldn't recommend fluctuating more than 500 up or down. So like, we'll just give you an example. Say your normal calorie level is 2,000, but on your non-training days, you're eating like 1,800 or 1,700, that's fine. So, but I wouldn't necessarily spike it all the way up to like 3,000 just because you had a leg day.
Yeah, but it is very good thinking what you're thinking. Like, so leg day, because you're burning more calories because you're incorporating more muscle groups. You are going to need more calories on those days. So,
but not a ton more.
Not a ton more,
just
but what
a little bit more.
But you know, if you're training arms one day, or if you said you're doing, you know, plyometrics does burn a lot of calories as well. But you know, your legs, if you're going a heavy leg day, that's the day that you need to have the most calories. So that's when you could, but it's not necessarily to say that just because you're training legs that you're not going to gain muscle in other areas as well, because legs have such a hormonal response in the body where it creates, you know, testosterone and other things where you can build muscle full body as opposed to just in your legs. But that's getting onto a whole other tangent. But I think we answered your question. If you're structuring your training to where your main focus is on building muscle in your legs, you're going to see results there. You know, you will. And if you don't train your upper body muscles, they're not going to increase in size. So even if you were in a huge calorie surplus, you're going to see most of the gain happen in your legs. So I just want to make it clear, though, that your calorie fluctuations shouldn't be gargantuan. You know, they can be a little bit. And you can also, what you can do is put your cheat meal day on your leg day. So even if your calories are like in a huge surplus that day, it's only one time a week, and it's on a day where you actually need those calories the most. So that's what you can do. All right, so Grant Gorski on Snapchat says, let's talk post-workout shakes. If my macros require 70 grams for my post-workout shake meal and the average serving size scoop is about 25 grams, is it safe to consume almost triple the amount in one cup? Or do you recommend making 3 shakes? I'm currently 140 pounds, 20 years old, in a bulking phase, eat 5 meals per day based on a 3,000 calorie diet. Also following Live Lean Mass. Awesome. So those macros seem a little off to me. In my Live Lean Mass program, there is a nutrition manual that tells you how to calculate the macros. And if I remember correctly, it would be, we typically start you off at 17 calories per pound of body weight. So if you multiply,
140 right now.
If you multiply 17, I mean, I got to do all this math in my head, but 3,000 calories on being 140 pounds, that's a big.
You think it's too much of a
It's
surplus?
a big jump. Like, you know, it's almost like you got to work your way up there. Like, I feel, are you calculating it?
Yeah, so we're looking at like 2,400.
So if you followed the Live Lean Mass model in the program, we would have you at 2,400 calories, which would then lower your protein intake, because 70 grams post-workout in protein powder, that's too much. Like,
that's probably more than you can even absorb in one sitting.
I don't necessarily know about that, but I'm just saying, like, 40 grams, you're good. Like, 30 to 40 grams of protein in your post-workout shake is good. So
he would be having like about 240 grams of protein per day.
Based on what?
Based on the 27, what was it?
24.
Or sorry, 2,400. Yeah.
2,400. So and he said he has 5 meals a day.
Yeah.
So what's that number divided by 5?
Oh, sorry, I just cleared it. I said 240.
Yeah.
Divided by 5 was 48.
So 48 grams. Like, that's not a lot.
About 50
like,
grams.
it's easy to get 48 grams of protein in a meal. So I don't know where you're coming up.
And your post-workout shake would just be 2 servings.
So I'm not coming up where you're coming out with that 70 grams.
Well, it just seems like his calorie may be set a little too high for just starting out, you know? You definitely don't want your surplus to be too high too fast. Especially depending on, you know, what you're coming from, how much you've been eating.
That's just it. Because there was another guy who emailed me, he's on the program, and he came off of a cut where he was saying his calories were 1,500, and then he got on my LiveLean Mass program, and
right
he
up to
jumped it way up to
2,800 or something?
2,800 or something, and didn't
It's
really.
like doubling his calorie intake overnight, you know?
He didn't follow like a reverse dieting plan like Jessica just did a video on. So we got to
You
be.
can watch How to Reverse Diet if you're curious.
We got to be smart on this stuff, guys. So it's not just like jumping in and going full out, like bumping up your body's got to have time to adapt to this stuff. So, Grant, I would just tell you to go back into the LiveLean Mass manual, calculate your macros based on how I have it in there, and then I think you can figure it out from there. That you don't need to have 70 grams of protein post-workout to get the the protein synthesis and the effectiveness that you need from it. So
sounds like about 2 scoops would probably be better.
well, it depends on the protein. Like just go for 30 to 40 grams of protein post-workout.
And if you guys are having a hard time reaching your protein goals, you could throw in like a pre-bedtime shake as well. Like that's something I did in the past when I always was struggling to hit my protein goals.
Like,
it's obviously not the ideal thing, but if you really like are lagging on a daily and you know that your protein goals are behind, just throw a scoop of protein in with water, shake it up and down it before bed.
But guys, I'm telling you, like getting in protein is not as hard as everybody thinks.
I know,
like,
really.
The amount of protein
be.
that's in like 6 ounces, which is not a lot. Like when you look at it on a plate, if you actually measure it and you look at it on a plate, it's not that much. Like people just get too overblown with like, oh, I can't do that or this and that. Like if you just sit down and you measure out the food, you will see how it's not as difficult.
It is really doable. I actually have a good video called How to Get Enough Protein in a Day for Women. And so you can see like what the actual physical portion sizes look like. And, in my opinion, it's a definitely doable amount of food.
Yeah.
And we do it all the time. So, okay. So let's hear from MD Hanani on Snapchat. It says, what are your opinion on Kodiak Cakes?
I think we've had them once before.
Yeah, I bought them. I think while I was pregnant. I tried them.
I
had like 1 box.
I think they actually sent us some one time, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
No,
that was a different one. That was called Flapjacked.
Okay, anyway.
That's
I'm
similar. Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I think those Kodiak cakes it's made of flour, right? So it's not something that I'm gonna have like in my everyday diet, like on the occasional time, it's fine.
Yeah.
But honestly, I prefer to make sweet potato protein pancakes. Like the stuff that I've showed you guys on LiveLeanTV, I've shared it with you guys. There's a recipe on the blog.
Those pancakes
they're so good, and it's just as easy as putting those together, I find.
Yeah,
like you throw it in a blender to make the batter and you make them. So
there's nothing really magical about Kodiak Cakes. Like I just hope you guys understand. When you look at the box, it's like you could make it yourself by putting some flour together with some whey protein and it's ta-da. It's not like something magical in it. You guys are always going to be better off making your own versions of things. Like make your own protein pancakes. Use regular natural whole foods, things like sweet potato and eggs. You can actually make our 2-ingredient pancakes, which is just eggs and banana. And those turn out fantastic. You can use ground flax seeds. There's a lot of different ingredients you can use to make pancakes or waffles. So yeah, Kodiak Cakes, they're fine, but it's like nothing magical and you can do better.
Next question on Snapchat from Soraya says, what are your thoughts on Ezekiel versus wheat bread? P.S. I love you guys. Never miss an episode.
Oh, perfect. We can just point you right to the exact episode that the Food Wars.
I was going to say, if you've never missed an episode, maybe she means she never misses an episode of the podcast.
Episode? Or
Because if you go way back to old school Brad, back in the 2012, 13-ish years of LiveLeanTV, we did a series called Food Wars where we compared.
I didn't even know you yet.
Yeah, where I compared 2 foods, and Ezekiel bread versus whole wheat, I think, was in one of those episodes. So go back.
Oh, definitely. I remember that episode.
And I share all the info in there.
It's old school Brad in his old kitchen back in Canada. It's so cute.
But to spoil it, if you don't want to go back to watch it, Ezekiel bread is just a better, higher quality source of nutrients versus whole wheat because it's it's sprouted. There's not as much processing to it.
It's a little bit higher in protein. It's denser, so it's higher in calories.
It's a complete protein as well.
Yeah, and you just it's not like equal macro-wise to regular wheat bread, but we prefer it because, like we said, it's higher quality, higher nutrients.
Yeah.
And it's good. I like the texture. You can get used to it if you're...
You do get used to it.
You don't really need to have like regular, that spongy kind of wheat. Like, Ezekiel is a really good bread substitute for us. Okay, so April Lyons said, hey, Ask LiveLeanTV, I was wondering what your best advices to recover from a binge on a really bad day of eating.
Are you
This is from Snapchat, too.
Are
I
you a
just
member of
forgot.
the Lions family on
The Empire?
Lions Empire? You guys watch the show?
We
No?
watch too much HBO.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's on Fox.
Oh, Fox. Okay, so what is your advice to recover from a binge or a really bad day of eating?
My advice is forget about it. Seriously, guys. You did it. It's in the past. Guess what you can't change?
The past.
What's in the past? Guess what you can change?
The future.
The future. Every choice that you make moving
The moment.
forward.
Yeah.
So like the answer is simple. Keep moving forward. Use those extra calories to gains. Get in the gym. Go crush a super leg workout, or put together a LiveLean Afterburn workout, or do a LiveLean Afterburn workout. Like, do something with those calories. It's, just forget about it.
Yeah.
I've talked about this so often. I'm trying to think of
I
another
know.
spin that I can put on it, but
Yeah, I was just going to say, a lot of your videos, you have like that one detox smoothie that has romaine and pineapple and whatever in
Yes.
it. We have detox salads in our Team Live Lean recipes. We have all kinds of different, like apple cider vinegar, lemon water, and drinks you can make, but...
And I just did a post on Instagram with, after, what did we have the other day?
it was apple cider vinegar. Yeah,
What did we have the other day?
Burgers, I think.
Burgers
It
or
was
something.
that-
I did
think
a
it was
post
burgers,
on
yeah.
Instagram because I get asked this question so often, and I showed kind of like my first protocol that I do first thing in the morning. So go over on Instagram check that out at Brad Guthrow.
Yeah, it's like the morning after you wake up and you've just had like a terrible day of eating before, instead of just like beating yourself up and feeling completely guilty and everything, just be proactive. Go and do something. Like you said, burn those calories. The other thing I would say is, prevention of the next time is important too. So instead of, a lot of people think the next day, oh, I'm just not going to eat anything. No. Like, you've even done a video on this, haven't you? Where you have to just get back to your normal level of calories. That doesn't mean 0 calories the next day. And I know it's hard when you've just had a day, like maybe you had like 4,000 calories in a day or something on accident when you're supposed to be having 2,000. The next day, instead of eating 0 to like sort of negate that extra 2,000, if you just had at least like 1,000 or 1,500, just to slowly get yourself back to normal, it's better, because otherwise you're going to set yourself up for another binge when you just get so freaking hungry that you can't stand it anymore. So you really got to get yourself out of this binge and starve kind of yo-yo thing. Like, get yourself back on track, do it smart, and just prevent the next one from happening, because you need it to just end here and now.
Okay, next question on Snapchat from Marisol Cadril says, is it normal for clothes to fit a little tighter when you first start lifting weights? Some of my blazers seem to be getting a little snug around the shoulders.
Yeah.
Making gains.
It brings me back to the days when I first started lifting, because I'd be so confused at like why all of a sudden my jeans were tight on the thighs yet loose on the waist.
Yeah.
Did you have that same thing? I'd be like, whoa, there's all this room here, but like my thighs would barely fit. And
story of my life.
Same thing if I had shirts that had those little like cap sleeves, I'd find that they'd be like cutting into my skin. And then also like sports bras would be tight around my rib cage. And so it's all these kind of like strange sensations with my clothes fitting differently. So absolutely, that's normal.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of people, and I know this isn't your question, but a lot of people look at the scale, like the weight scale. Like, so when they start lifting weights, they're building muscle, their body's recomposing, yet they look at the scale and it's like, maybe I gained weight, or maybe it's not going as low as it should be.
And then get depressed about it and then start eating more.
But
and
what you need to focus on
is
is just looking at the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, how do you look versus the way you did look? How do you feel the way that you did look? Get away from that weight scale if it's not moving in the right direction, yet you're doing everything that you should be doing. It's just it's not a good way to measure things. But
what I love to see is when people start an Instagram account for their weight loss journey, or for not even just weight loss, but body transformation journey. Because when you compare an older photo to a newer photo, you can like clearly see differences. And I love like seeing people transform on Instagram, because it's like weeks go by and they're just posting what they're eating and how they're working out and everything, and occasional like transformation or body pictures and stuff. And you can just see the changes happening. And a lot of the times I'll see people say, I just broke up with my scale, because it wasn't doing me any good.
Yeah,
and now I'm just focusing on the journey and focusing on my body and how it's changing, and my
Yeah.
clothes are fitting differently, and it's awesome. So yeah, definitely break up with that scale if you haven't done it yet. It's for me, it was really eye-opening to see how my weight actually went up, yet I got leaner than I ever had been before, and looked and felt better in every single way. So I had to get over that whole like fear of getting heavier, and even the fear of like lifting heavier weight. It's like, this is such a big thing for women, but you guys, you got to get over it, because the weight does not tell the whole story. Cisco balls on Snapchat, just to change your normal topics. Okay, I can know this is going to be good already. How do you two keep the romance in your new life as parents? By the way, both of you being hot and fit and adorable goofballs that are meant for each other isn't an answer.
Cisco balls. How do we keep the romance?
Yeah, let's talk strategies.
All right, what do you got?
Okay, an important thing, I think, when your life gets really busy, okay, when you have a kid, you get really busy, and it's like all of a sudden you go from like having time to relax and go on dates and be with each other and stuff, to all of a sudden you're responsible for this little screaming thing, and you're like, you know, rushing around trying to take care of the baby and stuff, and you can tend to just like pass each other by in the hallway and stuff. I think one of our things is to like notice each other. It's just like when one person comes home, like say hello, take a moment to give a kiss, and look in the eyes and really like say something meaningful, like, you look so good in that shirt, right? That's what I always say when you wear this one. Like, he looks so good in this shirt, right? So you just like say something or do something, make a little effort of a gesture.
That's what I was just about to say, like,
What?
we read this book on love languages, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have
Yeah.
probably read it as well.
The 5 love languages.
Like,
yeah.
we have different love languages, and what
Yeah,
you
we
just
do.
described is what I like.
Yeah.
I didn't, I know I keep coming back to Instagram, but I've been throwing some gold mines on Instagram. I did a post on Instagram a couple weeks ago on showing signs of like appreciation to guys, like what guys truly do want, like what do men really want from their women. And a lot of people think it's just sex and this and that, and sure, we want that, but there's deeper, like we're deeper dudes than that. Like but we're not
deep.
but we're not too deep, because I did like this
deep.
I did this analogy of like we're like dogs. Like when dogs,
Need a little pat on the head.
we like, what is we like acknowledgement.
Yeah.
We like
Respect, right?
yeah, like we just, and we like to feel like we're like, yeah, it's
Like appreciation.
Appreciation is the big thing. So what
Yeah.
you just said, like when I come home from work, like if Jessica doesn't even look up from the computer or anything, like it hurts me. It's
Yeah.
then
It
Bruno,
happens
but
sometimes,
Bruno
guys,
comes
I get
running.
really busy.
Bruno comes running to the door, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I want. That's why I have a dog, because
Yeah.
you know that's why a dog is a man's best friend.
Yeah.
And so so that's my love language is, you know, you don't have to buy me anything. You don't have to do, like, it's, you know, show me. And then your love language is different.
Yeah, totally. I mean, mine is like, I like to feel taken care of. So when he does things like carry my bag or open a door for me or cook me breakfast, just things that make me know that he's thinking about my needs too, you know, that's what I really appreciate. Like if he were to offer me the pillow or pull the blanket over me, like little stuff, you know?
Well, you also like the hairdryer.
Yeah, I mean, I love getting like presents, you know, if he
Yeah.
like buys me something that I've been drooling over. Like I just had this blow dryer that I just wanted so bad. And
Guys,
like,
it was the
I wouldn't
best-
buy it for myself, but
was-
he's like, I'll get it for you. And I was
Telling
like,
you, it was the best investment I think I've ever made. I've never seen Jessica so happy for when I bought her this hairdryer. And this hairdryer is not like some like just hairdryer you can get at CVS. Like this is like the epic
Primo.
of all
It's like the
epic hair,
Rolls-Royce of
where it's
hair
like you
care.
look at the price and you're like, what? But I'm telling you, worth it.
yeah.
If your woman wants a hairdryer, buy her the hairdryer.
And I'm not the kind of girl who like asks for diamonds and
Yeah,
like all
she's
this
not.
crazy stuff, but like sometimes I drool over these items that I wish I could have, and it's like if he makes that dream come true for me,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it makes me fall in love over and over again.
Aw,
So, but yeah, those are just some of like the things that speak to us and our personal relationship. I think for all of you guys who maybe have like hashtag couple goals for us, you know, if you are looking if you're already in a relationship and you're looking for ways to keep your romance alive, you should ask each other, what is your love language? Like, kind of do the work to really get to know each other, and like what sort of gestures or things speak to the other one, because if you don't know, then you're probably getting it wrong all the time.
Yeah, like if you just kept buying me things, but kept ignoring me when I come home, I just wouldn't feel loved.
Right.
But now that you know that, it's like you can be doing the things that makes me feel loved. So
it's much easier for your partner to please you when they know
what
you're
to
pleased.
do. Yeah. Okay. So good question.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so last question of the night comes from A Schultz 13 on Snapchat. Says, "Hi Brad!" Exclamation. This is more of a comment than a question.
Let's take a comment.
So I just want you guys to know that you inspire me more than you'll ever know, and that I'm a huge fan of yours. To make this a question though, I was wondering, what are your guys' celebrity crushes?
Oh, okay. All right, another non-fitness related one. You know, we've talked about this like between us a couple of times, and we just kind of like, we're like, we kind of came up dry with nobody that really makes our heart thump like, not like you do to me, Bill. I mean, there's like guy celebrities that I think are good looking, but like anyone that I would, you know, want to date or anything? No.
Who are they? I need to write them down. Go beat them up. Who are they?
You know what's funny is when I first met Brad, I kind of thought he was a celebrity, like a little
But she
bit.
doesn't anymore.
I do still.
You said you thought I was a celebrity.
I still think he's a celebrity. No, but really, guys,
I'm not a
like,
celebrity.
because his YouTube channel was like so much bigger than mine. I think he had like 9,000 subscribers at that point. I was like, oh my gosh. And also just his personality is so charismatic, and he's just, I mean, look at this square jawline and the blue eyes, and he's just so good looking. And I was just kind of drooling over him and stuff. But I don't know, like I definitely get starstruck when I see celebrities. Like when I lived in New York and I'd see one, I'd always get a little like, get the feels.
Like who? Give two.
Of people that I saw or people that I wanted to see?
That you'd want to see. If we had that friends list where you could sleep with any celebrity and not get in trouble with it. Yeah.
Boo. Not sleeping with anybody. I've always kind of liked Ryan Reynolds, another Canadian. And another Ryan Felipe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ryan.
Cruel Intentions. I thought he was hot in that.
I thought you were going to say Ryan Gosling.
No, I don't know. He's cute too.
Don't
though.
Ryan Felipe and Ryan, the other one?
Gosling? No, Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. Don't they look alike? They kind of do, don't they?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. They're both handsome.
So the only celebrity crush that like came to mind, like back in my high school days, I was always crushing on the pop queens like Britney and Jessica Simpson. But they're not anymore. So now I like girls who got like their ish together. Like not only like do they take care of themselves, but they like got a business mind.
I know who you're gonna say right now.
Who?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Oh.
Because like she just seems like she's
impressive. She's an impressive human being.
There's no like gossip crap going on around here that I know of. I don't pay attention to that, but I don't think...
she's not shaving her head and breaking car windows and stuff.
And she's like running companies. Like I see her like she's like engaging with people on social media. She knows what she's doing. Like to me, like not only is she really beautiful, but like she just seems like she has a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah,
she's smart, she's intelligent, and that's what I look for
just well put together
in a woman. So
that's the only one? Aren't you going to give us one more? You got to give us one more.
Okay, the first one that came to mind was Vanessa Marcil. She was the girl in Las Vegas. She was on 90210. She's like dark hair. Anyway, you guys just Google her. she's I don't know anything like if she's got her head together, her whatever.
Whatever. All right. Good.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining us on this show. And I did the question of the day last show, so you're up.
Okay, I know. What would you guys like to see happen on our 50th episode of Ask LiveLeanTV? Like, let's get some creative, like, brain juices flowing and let us know down below. What are your ideas for what we can do for, like, a really exciting 50th show?
Yeah, we got that. That's only 2 away, so that's a good question.
Okay.
Put your answers down. Get active down there. And once again, guys, Instagram. It's going down on Instagram.
Instagram is a place to be.
Get over there. All right. Thanks for watching. And keep
Living lean.
Boy. Big shout out to all our Live Lean podcast listeners. We love you and would so appreciate it if you would give this podcast a review. We need your feedback to improve and grow. So please give us a review right now.